sowing the seeds, good and healthy seeds are selected and treated with pesticides like agrosan. As I said, to be doubly sure that you never know what the seed seller has done. Maybe he has treated them with pesticide or not, or he's controlled them or not. So the farmer might as well treat them once from his end. So he treats it with agrosan. As in, maybe it's kind of a powder. He smears the powder and, spreads it out and then treats it with them differently, or maybe, sprays in whatever form agrosan is available. He puts a layer of that spray on the seeds and then he starts to sow them, right? Because this, once the agrosan has been sprayed, it will repel the pest away. The pest, obviously, if they see, the rats will see grains and the rat will not come to eat. Can you believe it? It will come to eat. So just to repel away the pest and the rodents, they have spread agrosan and they have made it mighty powerful so that it gets the time to grow and be sprouted. Right? So treatment of seeds with pesticide protects the seeds from being eaten away by birds and from fungal and bacterial growth upon them while sprouting. So at least till this, these are like very innocent babies. They need to be protected and cuddled and kept very safe, very close to eyes, very close monitoring. Otherwise, there are too many preys in and around who could just come, and one seed eaten away means one crop less. And one crops means so many, seeds could have come out of that one crop. So that's a loss, right? So each and every seed needs to be protected by the farmer. Okay. Now we come to the methods of seed sowing. There are several methods. Basically, there are 3 types of seed sowing. They could have found a black rose, extract the gene from it and mass produce that. Yes, Arjun. So, but from where will they find the black rose gene? Right? So, there could have been a flower. That's what I was discussing. There was a red rose, maybe, which had a darkish tinge. Yes, they are very rare. Even nowadays, they are very rare. You don't get to see black rose so easily. You'll really have to, pre-order and look out and search for it. There are certain colors which are very, very rare, like the dark blue rose or the black rose. They're very, very rare. One person could find it. Where? Inform someone, and then what? The success rates, let me tell you, the success rates of GM seeds or hybrid is not always 100%. There's always a 50-50 chance or maybe a 25-75 chance of a success rate. So they have to keep on trying. They have to keep on trying in huge scale. Maybe, if they try out 100 samples, one might be a success. And just imagine that seed will be then planted, will take 1 year to grow, then the next year it will flower. They'll have to wait till it flowers and see if it was a black rose or not. If it's not a black rose, and then again they have to do the same thing. It's very, very time consuming. That's the reason why it takes a long time. But once done, it's done for good. Okay. So sowing of seeds by spreading or sprinkling in the field is called broadcasting. As I said, just take it, the farmers, what they do is that they just take it in their hands and they just, kind of spread it all over the land. They keep walking and they keep spreading it out. They take a basket full of seeds and they keep walking 1 feet step by step and they keep spreading. So seeds of crops like barseem and coriander, these are kind of, why, Arjun? What about the others? Can the others see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Arjun, just check if there's any video problem from your end. Everybody can see the screen. Okay. So basically there are certain seeds, which do not require, for example, if you have to sow a mango seed, you'll have to see that which end will come up, which end will go down, because galti say, if you have planted, then the radical will go up and the shoot will go down. So, but there are certain things which it really doesn't matter, because these are so tiny seeds that somewhere or the other radicule or plumule will come out. So you can't go wrong with them. So those are the seeds which you can go for broadcasting. Right? Now the next is dribbling. What is You can only see a JPG default. You'll have to get in touch with Vinay. Vinay, are you there? Arjun, if you have Vinay's number, please get in touch with Vinay, no? Oh, Vinay has left the meeting. I can't even send him a chat. Please call him up in case you have his number. He can help you out. Or maybe just log out and log in, Arjun. See if that helps. Dribbling is basically, making small holes in the soil and then sow the seed and then cover it with soil. That's it. Normal process that we do at home. You sow you make a hole, you sow the seed and then you cover the hole with the soil around, right? So many times what they do is that there are little machines, there are little tools they have through which they dig the hole so that, all the holes are of the same size, or else, there are some seeds through which if the soil is loose, they just use their fingers, index finger to make the hole and they just slide a seed there. Simple. What is drill sowing? Drill sowing is like a seed drill, right? You can just do a YouTube check on this. So this is very efficient. Seeds are sown with the help of seed drills, which are like maize, wheat, barley, millets. These are sown in rows and in furrows at a particular depth along the field. So what are furrows? Furrows are like, there are straight lines, marked with the help of a plow or with a machine, So these are like, these land are a little deep, not very deep, right? So here at a particular distance, they will keep sowing the seed with a machine, right? The machine itself will make a kind of a small indent and then sow the seed here. So what happens is that the seed is sown at a equal distance every time. And there is like in manual, one can go wrong. One can go a little left, a little right, but here it can't go wrong. It has to be in a straight line and all the seeds will be at an equal distance. So when the crops grow up, the reason is that when the crops grow up, there will be no competition for, fertilizers, sunlight, air, water, etc. All of them have their enough space, their own individual space to grow. That's about drill sowing. Now, what are the problems? Obviously, if you're talking about agriculture crop production, it will come along with it with its own set of problems. So, seeds which are left on the soil of the surface can be carried away by wind, destroyed by insects and birds. The birds are always on the lookout that somewhere I take it and put it in my nest. They are always on the lookout, and how long can you keep on driving away the birds or the insects or the rodents for that matter, right? And of course, there is this wind which is totally out of your control. You really don't know how to, you really do not know how to protect your field from wind. If there's a strong gush of wind, then you had it. The farmer had it. Just imagine the farmer has just sowed the seed and then after 2 days there was a strong wind. What will happen? How much ever heavy the seed be, it will fly away or it will get displaced from one place to the other, right? So for that he should have, covered the seed with soil properly so that there's no exposure. Neither insect nor birds nor wind can harm it. The seed should be protected well, covered well. Seeds sown close to one another may result in overcrowding, thereby resulting is hampered. So remember we discussed about broadcasting. Broadcasting is fast, manually done, but there's no guarantee that each and every seed will be sowed at an equal distance. There could be seeds area where the seeds would be too many. There could be place where the seeds are little too scanty. You have no control over them. Right, so it's always better to go for a drill machine or, a drill sowing. There are people, who measure, like they take one step and they plant a seed here, sow a seed here. They take one more step, they sow a seed here. They take one more step, they sow a seed here. But just imagine how cumbersome this should be. It will take him one full week to just sow the seeds in his field. Just imagine. By the time he would have sowed the last seed, Here already the sprouts might have come out. Right? It's very cumbersome. Okay, seeds placed deep inside the soil may fail to germinate and fail to come out into the air. Now I have told you to cover the seed with the soil, but what if the seed is too deep? The tiny shoot might not be able to push up the soil and then emerge out of the soil. So it has to be at a particular depth, not too deep, not too up. It has to be at that perfect depth. Okay. So these are things which the farmers have to keep in mind. So much to remember, so much the farmer has to work upon, isn't it? Okay. So the precautions that the farmer has to take is, except for the seeds. Arjun, now you'll have to check your audio. Check your audio now. Except for the seeds which are sown by broadcasting, the seeds are sown at an appropriate distance from one another in a particular depth. So this is what we discussed. Precautions should be taken, precautionary measures should be taken. So many a times what happens is that, there are certain plants, crops where first a nursery is made. What is a nursery? A nursery is basically a place whereby you sow all the seeds very closely and you allow them to germinate. And you allow them to sprout, like seedlings are allowed to grow. And once the seedlings have grown, then you take it in a field and then sow it in the field. You don't sow the seeds directly. You rather plant the seedlings there. This is a much safer option, right? Because the seeds are too vulnerable to insects and wind. So this was about it actually.